10 fastest collapsing cities in Canada. Leave now. Have you ever thought that Canada's most iconic cities could be on the verge of collapse? Rising unemployment rates, a steadily decreasing population, and crumbling infrastructure, these once thriving cities are now facing a harsh reality, undeniable decline. The bustling streets of the past are now mere shadows of what they once were. But how did things get this bad? Is it the over-reliance on a single economy that made them vulnerable? Or perhaps poor urban planning and unsustainable policies pushed these places into a corner? Whatever the reason, the signs of collapse are becoming increasingly apparent. In today's video, we'll explore 10 cities in Canada that are rapidly deteriorating. Economic challenges, harsh environmental conditions, and social issues are creating a perfect storm, sweeping away opportunities and hope for the residents. If you're living in or thinking about moving to one of these cities, take note. Things could change faster than you expect. Maybe it's time to consider relocating before you get caught up in the looming crisis. Be sure to watch until the end, because the number one city will definitely surprise you. It might be just a few miles away from your home. Number 10. Sudbury, Ontario. We begin our journey in Sudbury, Ontario, a city once proud of its role in Canada's mining industry. For decades, Sudbury was the heart of the nickel industry, with massive mineral reserves sustaining thousands of families. In those days, Sudbury was full of life with a booming economy, diverse job opportunities, and bright prospects for future generations. But time has changed everything. As global demand for minerals fluctuates and mining automation advances, the city's economic engine has stalled. Jobs that once required many workers now need just a few, and the labor force is shrinking. If you live in Sudbury, you've likely felt this shift. The job market has dried up, unemployment is rising, and stable employment opportunities have become scarce. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Sudbury is also facing a large migration of young people. Youth, creative and energetic, are leaving the city for better opportunities in larger urban centres. This is leaving behind an aging population, struggling to maintain the rhythm of life they once knew. The problems don't stop there. The cost of living in Sudbury is rising while wages fail to keep pace. Housing prices are climbing, making it difficult for many to maintain their standard of living. Although the city has tried to diversify its economy by investing in healthcare and education, these efforts are too slow and insufficient to change the overall situation. Sudbury remains too dependent on mining. Without significant changes, this city could continue to decline, and its future will remain increasingly uncertain. Number 9. St. John, New Brunswick. Next, we head to St. John, a city on Canada's east coast that once boasted a vibrant economy and bustling trade. With busy ports and a strong industrial sector, St. John was a place where many flocked to build their futures. However, like Sudbury, its golden past has faded, and now St. John is facing an inevitable downturn. The manufacturing industry, once the city's economic backbone, is crumbling. Large factories that employed thousands have closed or downsized operations, leaving a huge gap in the job market. As a result, many families have had to leave their hometown in search of new opportunities elsewhere. This has triggered a frightening domino effect. The city's population is rapidly shrinking, and the youth no longer feel motivated to stay. Those who remain must face harsh realities: aging infrastructure, few job prospects, and an uncertain future. The housing crisis is also adding to the city's woes. Even though home prices in St. John are not as high as in major cities, the overall economic struggles make home ownership a distant dream for many locals. Local government is struggling to secure funding to improve the city. Outdated infrastructure not only hinders daily life, but also slows any efforts at recovery. St. John is trying to rebound, but in its current state, the city seems stuck in a downward spiral with no clear signs of imminent recovery. Number 8. Thunder Bay, Ontario. Next, we stop at Thunder Bay, a city once known for its strong resource-based industries, particularly forestry and shipping. During its heyday, Thunder Bay was an economic pillar in the region, providing stability and prosperity for its residents. But that's all in the past. As demand for traditional industries has waned, Thunder Bay has quickly lost its former economic power. One of the biggest issues facing Thunder Bay is the lack of alternative income sources. As the forestry industry shrinks, thousands of jobs have disappeared, and the city has struggled to replace the lost industries with new sectors. What's more concerning is that the population of Thunder Bay is steadily declining. Young people, particularly skilled professionals, are leaving to seek better opportunities in larger cities. It feels like Thunder Bay is stuck in a downward spiral, lacking the resources to break free. At the same time, crime rates are rising, further worsening the situation. Economic instability and a lack of jobs have led to an increase in social issues. Even though home prices in Thunder Bay are much lower than in major Canadian cities, income disparities make it difficult for lower-income individuals to maintain a decent quality of life. Outdated infrastructure and declining public services only add to the city's problems. Despite efforts to develop sectors like education and healthcare, progress is slow, and it hasn't been enough to save the city. Thunder Bay faces an uncertain future, and without timely reforms, it risks sinking deeper into crisis. Number 7. Corner Brook, Newfoundland and Labrador. Our next stop takes us to Corner Brook, a small town nestled in the wild beauty of Newfoundland. This place was once a thriving centre for the paper industry, an industry that was the lifeblood of the local economy. The paper mill in Corner Brook provided stable employment and supported the growth of surrounding businesses. But those days are gone. As global demand for paper declined, the downfall of this industry dragged Corner Brook's economy down with it. One of the most serious issues facing Corner Brook is the exodus of young people. Youth are leaving in search of better opportunities elsewhere, leaving behind an aging population without enough workforce to sustain the economy. Efforts to diversify into other sectors like tourism and small-scale manufacturing have not yielded the expected results. Although the area's natural beauty draws in some tourists, the tourism industry is not strong enough to solve the city's deeper economic problems. Housing in Corner Brook is relatively affordable, but this reflects low demand rather than the strength of the market. With residents continually leaving, this town faces a bleak future unless decisive changes are made to boost economic growth. Without new industries to replace the jobs that have been lost, Corner Brook risks stagnation and eventual collapse. Number 6. Windsor, Ontario. Our journey continues in Windsor, a city long known as Canada's automotive capital. Windsor thrived on its close ties to Detroit and the booming automotive industry. But time has not been kind to Windsor. The global automotive industry has faced numerous challenges, and Windsor has felt these shocks acutely. One of the city's core problems is its over-reliance on a single industry. When the auto industry flourished, Windsor thrived, but when it faltered, the city plunged into crisis. Many factories have closed or relocated, leaving thousands unemployed. Efforts to diversify Windsor's economy exist, but have not been strong enough. The city's unemployment rate consistently ranks among the highest in the country, and even when jobs are available, they are often temporary or unstable. The loss of manufacturing jobs has weakened the middle class, and financial insecurity has become a reality for many families. Home prices have begun to rise, but incomes have not kept pace, creating growing instability in the community. Although Windsor is trying to reinvent itself through sectors like education, technology, and green energy, progress is slow. Residents still feel the weight of job insecurity, rising living costs, and an uncertain future. Windsor faces a long battle to regain prosperity, but for now, the city has yet to find its way out of this downward spiral. Number 5. Prince Rupert, British Columbia. We arrive at Prince Rupert, a city once regarded as the heart of trade on Canada's Pacific coast. With its strategic location, Prince Rupert connected Canada to the world through critical shipping routes. However, the city's fortunes have changed over time. Global trade is slowing, and Prince Rupert, heavily reliant on the shipping industry, is losing business to larger ports. This has caused the city's job market in transportation and logistics to dry up, creating a tough economic environment. Moreover, the lack of new investments has left the city stagnant. Remaining industries like forestry and fishing are not providing the necessary stability. With fewer opportunities, young people are leaving Prince Rupert in search of brighter futures in bigger cities. While housing prices here remain relatively affordable, low demand and population outflows are stagnating the real estate market. Prince Rupert's infrastructure is also facing deterioration. Without necessary investments to modernize, the city risks falling behind in an increasingly competitive world. Though efforts have been made to diversify the economy through tourism and small business development, progress has been slow. Number 4. Campbellton, New Brunswick. Continuing our journey, we arrive at Campbellton, a small town in New Brunswick that once thrived on forestry and fishing industries. But as both of these industries began to decline, Campbellton's economy quickly stalled. Jobs in forestry, once a stable source of income, are now just a memory. The biggest issue facing Campbellton is the migration of young people. The lack of job opportunities forces younger generations to leave their hometown in search of a better life elsewhere. This has led to a rapidly aging population and a weakened local economy. Local businesses are struggling due to a lack of customers, and the housing market is stagnant with not enough buyers. Although home prices in Campbellton are very affordable, this reflects low demand rather than prosperity. If the town cannot diversify its economy, the situation will become even more dire. Number 3. Timmins, Ontario. Timmins is another city that built its economy around mining, particularly gold mining. For years, Timmins prospered thanks to this industry, but now the mines are gradually closing or scaling back operations. Over-reliance on a single industry has left Timmins with a lack of economic diversity. With the loss of many mining jobs, unemployment in Timmins is on the rise. This has prompted a wave of migration, particularly among the youth, leading to an aging population. The housing market is also struggling, with demand plummeting. Despite efforts to transition the economy toward tourism and services, progress has been slow, and Timmins still relies heavily on mining. Without finding a new direction, Timmins will continue to face an uncertain future. Number 2. Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. Charlottetown, the capital of Prince Edward Island, is famous for its historic charm and is a major tourist destination. However, this city is also facing serious issues, particularly with housing costs and the job market. Rapid population growth has pushed housing prices in Charlottetown to new heights, while residents' incomes have not kept pace. Finding an affordable rental home has become a challenge for many. Moreover, Charlottetown's economy is heavily reliant on tourism and agriculture, both of which are seasonal and unstable. With low wages and increasing competition in the job market, Charlottetown residents are feeling the squeeze from rising living costs. Infrastructure is also under pressure as the population grows, but resources are not enough to keep up. Without significant investment in infrastructure and economic diversification, Charlottetown will continue to face deeper economic challenges. Number 1. Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Finally, we arrive at Cape Breton, a region that has long struggled to escape economic decline. Once a hub for coal mining and steel production, these industries have nearly vanished, leaving Cape Breton with a fragile economy. The migration of young people has created a serious problem, leaving Cape Breton with an aging population and a shrinking workforce. Unemployment in Cape Breton has consistently been high, and the jobs that do exist are often temporary or low-paying. Tourism offers a glimmer of hope, but it is only a short-term solution and not enough to help the region fully recover. The housing market also reflects the sluggish economy, with low demand and cheap home prices failing to attract those seeking better opportunities elsewhere. Without significant investment and new industries, Cape Breton will continue to sink deeper into economic decline. These 10 cities are all facing significant challenges, from economic decline to shrinking populations and unstable job markets. If you are living in or planning to move to one of these places, think carefully. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss our next exciting videos. Thanks for watching.